Well, it seemed like the Miami Dolphins had a few too many Steins while they were in Germany. That
Steins.
offense could not get going at all. Tua leads the NFL in passing yards and all this great stuff and all these stats. Can't do squat against the Chiefs defense, who is ranked only number two.
I hope it sounds better on the audio.
I do too, man.
Oh, am I cutting in and out for you guys?
We just heard a jumbled mess of nothing.
We'll find out.
I mean, what went wrong, what went right in the game for both teams is the offense went wrong and the defense went right. It was a defensive battle, Ty Bob, and you called it.
That's what I'm here for.
Who's Dolphins, man?
Us,
Who's going to stop these Dolphins?
good teams in the NFL apparently.
Teams above 500.
I mean, it is only their third loss.
They
But
played a
all
lot
three
of under
losses
500
came
teams.
against teams above 500. They can't beat good teams.
I
They
was
have
fully prepared to go into the bye week 6-3 too.
ye of little
Didn't
faith.
happen, baby.
I mean, that's all right. We saved those losses for other teams that uh, have their regular season Super Bowls against us.
Do you think the offense gets figured out? It's had many of its own issues. Patrick Mahomes keeps promising at the end of every game that the offense will get it figured out. One thing that we've noticed over the last couple weeks is the snap count is becoming more consistent with a group of wide receivers. Do you think that now that we're getting more consistent with the players who are going to be on the field, chemistry can grow and we'll get this thing figured out? Or are we going to be the Broncos in Peyton Manning's final year? Great defense, shitty offense.
Well, first of all, Patrick Mahomes can actually throw the ball, so we will not be like Peyton Manning and the Broncos. And the big thing from this past weekend that I saw was Rashee Rice. Was he not the snap leader for wide receivers?
He still had the largest snap share.
So going into the bye week, we have some stuff figured out, some stuff that we need to definitely work on. So just seeing the difference in the snap counts between a lot of the receivers after this past few weeks has been huge to see. And going into the bye week, Andy's going to switch some stuff up. They're definitely going to find a lot of chemistry over this time, and it's going to be a lot different coming out.
Are we? It's Justin Watson that's in that group that you're talking about. Am I correct?
Yep.
Like Rasheed
Yep.
Rice and Justin Watson
Yep.
are number one and number two going forward.
And
You
MVS.
sprinkle in MVS and whoever else you want to behind that, but I guess it is what it is. Chiefs Kingdoms. Kingdoms. Justin Watson is a part of our everyday life.
With the elbow
Every
brace.
Sundays. I'm happy for Rashee Rice. I think it's super bland of the Chiefs to need to lean on Justin Watson.
One thing, Sean, and you said Patrick Mahomes can actually throw the ball, and you're not wrong. Patrick Mahomes can actually throw the ball instead of Peyton Manning in his final year with Denver. However, we've scored through 9 weeks less points than that Denver offense this season.
Really? I thought it was 2 more points.
Or maybe it's on the same, even if it's 2 points, like right there, it's not good.
This is going to be a defensive Super Bowl win. That's what I'm hearing.
You know what, that seems to like look the same throughout the whole NFL this year. It's a defensive battle. The offenses are down, the scores are not as close. So you've got the higher level defenses out there playing more competitively than they have in previous years, even with all the issues that have been going on. But this year's NFL has been way different than we've seen in the past couple of years. And even with the larger spreads when we get to the end of the games, um, like the defenses all around are the offenses, excuse me, are not as good as they have been.
I think that boils down to really shitty offensive line play throughout the whole entire league. Because the offensive lines have not been nearly as good, or just a lot of guys are very injured this year.
I think that's a good call out. Let's take a look at Sunday's game against the Dolphins. That was the worst offensive line showing that Kansas City has had since the Super Bowl against Tampa Bay, when we had nothing but third, fourth, and fifth stringers in. I mean, our interior offensive line could not pick up a simple stunt. It was ridiculous. I've never seen this offensive line so stunned, and it came to simple end around stunts, either inside or outside. It was, I don't even know how to explain it. I don't know how you simply don't pick up on it when they're running the same stunts the entire game, every single play.
I'm not going to say it is, but I kind of want to chalk it up to jet lag. I feel like that has to do a little bit with it. I mean, you got to be ready to
The
play.
guys running those stunts are no slouches either. The Miami's defensive line isn't bad. So a combination of a few different things. I'm sure, but they didn't seem consistently dominant. They seemed like sluggish usually. We had two good drives on offense, and those are the two touchdowns that we needed to win this game.
Yeah. The first drive went really well, and I don't think the offensive line, like I don't think that's going to be a consistent problem. Whatever the issues are, it was an issue in this game, and out of anybody on the offense, I expect that offensive line to clean up any problems that come their way as we move forward throughout the season. But I was just really surprised to see that group as rattled as they were, because those are guys that two of them in three of them on the interior, one who's already paid, two who are going to get paid, the right tackle who's been paid out the wazoo, and a left tackle who is a veteran, been around the league for a while. So to see that, it was just a little concerning. And I think one of the things that ultimately outweighs some of the stunts that are coming in is run the damn ball. You can easily stop a stunt if you hand off the ball, because they have no room to
And
run around.
we run the ball so much.
You can get some easy pancakes on if they for real have a stunt called and they don't check off of it when they see how the offensive line is lined up. Like that would make for some pretty easy pancakes too. But I think NFL defensive linemen are a little bit smarter than that.
We did run the ball 16 times. Pacheco did have 66 yards. So when we run it more than 12 times, we win. And when we run it less than 12 times, we lose every time.
I don't think that was the reason we won that game, guys. It's all about the defense and the big play. You want to
The big play.
talk about plays of the game or what went right. Trent McDuffie's hit on Tyreek Hill, the brilliant lateral, and the touchdown on the defensive side of the ball. Kansas City Chiefs. What metric do we need to go by? Are we a top 10 defense?
We're a top 2 defense.
We are the number 2 defense. We're the number 2 scoring defense, and we're the number 2 defense by DVOA.
Let's go. Just playmakers and hitters all over the field. We finally get a chance to talk about somebody other than Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, guys. Even when Taylor Swift is dating Killer Trav, Zeus, whatever you want to call him. He's getting bracketed this year.
Let's talk about that secondary. I mean, you wanted to talk about the one play with Trent McDuffie. Even with Tua having ample time, I would say, in the pocket, like our defensive line did a pretty good job rushing and getting in his face.
It was up and down.
He definitely had quite a few plays there where he had ample time in the pocket, and the coverage was amazing. I sat here and told you guys, expect the under on Tyreek Hill. Now, he went over on the catches, but he got locked down, and it wasn't only him. Jalen Waddle got shut down. Smythe, tight end, got shut down. They didn't have a single guy. Not even Cedric Wilson Jr. could get going. And their run game was buns. Like their
Buns,
offense,
dude.
buns.
Our
Oh, they're
run
supposed to be
defense
this
was amazing.
high
Our
flying
edge setting was
offense.
amazing.
These guys had
We had
nowhere to
they had
go.
a couple of runs up the middle that gashed us, but like anytime they tried to get outside, they couldn't do it.
I think this game may have been a little different should they have Achan back. So I think they could run the ball a little bit better if
I
he's
feel like
back
they
and
have
healthy.
capable running backs even without him, but sure,
I think he's far and away better than Raheem Mostert or Jeff Wilson.
that's fine.
And
It
I'm
would have
not
been good.
saying that they would do better. I'm just saying I think the run game would be maybe a little bit more effective had HN been back there. But knowing where the game was at 21-0 at halftime, if that's still the case, like they have no choice but to continuously throw the ball because they're not moving the ball whatsoever. They're not getting those small yardages that they need to get those first downs. It was just a simple defensive battle. Chris Jones not showing up for multiple weeks in a row now, but we can rely on our boys Charles Omenihu and George Karloftis and Tershawn Wharton to get back there and clean it up for us.
Now,
Dude, don't. I was gonna say, don't think his presence isn't felt out there, my guy. Come on now.
Quiet, doing nothing. I can tell you what,
No
he's
he's
stats on the
not.
board, but it does. It's more than that.
I can tell you what, he's not earning that $32 million contract at the end of this season.
take him out and see what everybody else does. See if they're getting as open as they are on these rushes and everything.
Well, the one game
if
that
Chris Jones doesn't hold blocks and attention against the Dolphins the way he did, Drew Tranquil and Leo Chanel don't play as well as they did.
there's only one team that has scored over 21 points on us this year. And in the one game that Chris Jones did not play in, we still held that team to 21 points. So the team that beat us by more than 21 points, Chris Jones played.
We're
So
a better
I'm
football
just,
team. Chris Jones right in the middle of that defense. I'm
no,
sorry.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing that his role is not unfelt. The guys that are
No deep
around
boy
him,
shit. No deep boy. Nothing.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
I'm just saying he's been quiet
it's
enough that he's not going to earn the money that he thought he was going to be earning by re-signing this contract, and he is not getting Aaron
thought.
Donald money at the end of this season because he consistently
thought.
wants to be quiet.
What if he goes on a stretch of like 3 games after the bye, gets like 8.5 sacks in that time frame?
He's going to need more than that.
In 3 games?
He is going to need
That's
more to get deep.
obviously, but 8.5 in 3 games to start it off, like that's a great starting point.
That's a great starting
Will
point.
you
And then
will you be done with your beef with him at that point?
is he still going to be loafing on plays?
Occasionally, but he's
Then
getting
no,
those
I'm
8.5
not going to
sacks.
stop my beef with him.
Okay,